Through the prayers of our Holy Fathers, Lord Jesus Christ, our God, have mercy on us and save us. Amen. Today, February 21st, civil calendar, and February 8th, the church calendar. The church commemorates the holy and great martyr Theodore Stratlet. There are martyrdoms that are more than costly. The costliness of the martyrdom depends on the greatness of the good things of this world that a Christian gives up, receiving suffering in his place, and it depends also on the greatness of the suffering which he endures for the sake of Christ. Saint Theodore, a Roman commander in the army of the Emperor Licinius and governor of the city of Heraclea, scorned his youth, his good looks, his military status, and the goodwill of the emperor, and in place of all this received terrible tortures for the sake of Christ. Firstly, Theodore was flogged, receiving 600 lashes on the back and 500 on the stomach. Then he was crucified and pierced through with arrows. Finally, he was slain with a sword. Why all this? Because Saint Theodore loved Christ more than anything else in the world. He scorned the foolish idol worship of the superstitious emperor, shattered the silver and gold idols, giving the pieces to the poor, brought many to the Christian faith, and urged the emperor himself to reject idolatry and believe in the one God. During the whole of his torture, Theodore repeated unceasingly, "Glory to thee, my God, glory to thee." He suffered on February 8 in year 319 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and entered into the kingdom of Christ. He is regarded as the protector of soldiers who turned to him for help. His wonder-working relics were taken from Ephesus to Constantinople and buried in the church of Lachianine. The holy prophet Zechariah, the 11th of the minor prophets, he worked together with the prophet Haggai to persuade Prince Zerubbabel to restore the temple in Jerusalem. He prophesied the solemn entry of Christ into Jerusalem on a coat, the foal of an ass, and the Judas betrayer for 30 pieces of silver. The way for my price, 30 pieces of silver, and the forsaking of Christ by his apostles at the time of his passion. Smite the shepherd and the sheep shall be scattered. He entered into the rest in the second year of the reign of Darius in about 520 BC. Saint Sava, the second Archbishop of Serbia, he was son of the King Stephen I, crown and nephew of Saint Sava I before becoming a monk. He was called Predislav, following the example of his great uncle. He became a monk and gave himself zealously to the ascetic life, choosing to be Archbishop of Serbia after Saint Arsenius and taking the now name Sava too. He governed the church with great devotion and love. He entered into rest in 1268, and his relics lie in the monastery at Pek. For consideration, Saint Seraphim of Saros writes on despair, "As the Lord was for our salvation, so the devil, that killer of men, was to lead men into despair. Judas the betrayer was little of soul and untested in battle, and therefore the devil, seeing him in despair, attacked him and forced him to suicide. But Peter, the firm rock, when he fell into great sin in the testing time of battle, did not despair nor lose the presence of the Spirit, but wept bitterly from a full heart, and the devil, seeing this, fled from him as from a flaming fire. And my brethren, Saint Antiochus teaches that when despair descends upon us, we must not surrender to it, but strengthened and protected by our holy faith. Say resolutely to the wicked spirit, "What hast thou to do with us, thou who hast fallen away from God, thou fugitive from heaven and slave of wickedness? Thou darest in no wise do us harm, for Christ the Son of God has dominion over us and over all. But thou, O thou murderer, get thee away from us. Strengthened by his precious cross, we trample upon thy serpent head." Thank you and God bless. Kindly subscribe for a regular update of this broadcast of Life of Saint has been celebrated in the genuine Orthodox Church in Nigeria here. Thank you and may God bless you. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, are one true God. Amen.